So let's start off with the first one, number one. Challenge students with higher order questioning. I think that the power of a great question can be absolutely transformative in the classroom, and one good question can lead to a world-beating idea, it can challenge misconceptions, or it can even provide newfound knowledge in itself. A series of great focused questions can do even more, and in a classroom environment, it can lead to accelerated progress for all learners. A lot's been written by many great experts in the educational field about questioning, but I want to focus here on what makes a good question in the history classroom and what prevents us history teachers, from being outstanding questioners. So to begin, what makes a great question from a history teacher? So I would say things like it being open, not closed, a question that develops students' historical skills, a timely and focused question, a challenging question for the student based on their ability, and also a question that provides a trigger for more learning. So perhaps a little bit more explanation on these. When I say develop students' historical skills, I specifically refer to the key or core skills in history, things like chronology, source inquiry, historical interpretations, communication and organisation, and knowledge and understanding. Things like cause, consequence and significance would also be in there. How can questioning develop these skills? Well, by asking the right kind of question, students have an opportunity to develop skills to find the answer. When I say timely and focused, I'm talking about how quickly a teacher can formulate the right question at the perfect time. And this could be partway through a lesson, and it could require a combination of real quick thinking from the teacher and also calmness under pressure. I always like to imagine the scene in the movie The Matrix when the super fast combat scenes that become the super slow motion. This is where the great questioner needs to slow down the literal happenings in front of them, but speed up their own thinking to fire out the killer question. Of course, hundreds or thousands of hours in the classroom will mean that this is going to become easier, perhaps even second nature. So what examples would we present as great questions in the history classroom, or more specifically, command words that we would use? What about to what extent? What about why was something a turning point? What about how important was a particular event in the history of something? Or what about how far do you agree with the interpretation that something caused something? I know that if students can answer these questions in lessons, whether it's verbally or on paper, in a considered and fluent fashion, then progress is being made. To aid my questioning, it helps to understand the kind of responses I want to get. So I did create a grid, which is also downloadable with this section, which you can look at. And the grid gives you the tool to actually monitor the quality of a question, but also the quality of an answer based on those command words. Finally, does your question that you ask in class give a student a chance to demonstrate mastery of history? That should be a question that you should keep in the back of your mind at all times.